Christmas, everyone. Welcome to Wasatch Weekends. I'm your host, Kimberly Perot, and I'm so honored to be joining you and your families on this special day. I hope it's a good one so far. On today's show, I hop in the kitchen with Kevin and we make a spinach and artichoke dip, which is a really quick and easy one to make with your friends and family. Plus, girls love travel and all the important tips and tricks that you may need for that. But before we get into it, let's take a look at today's Christmas Day weather.
This weather report is brought to you by Sun and Ski Sports, your new mountain sports headquarters.
Who doesn't love a good dip, especially around the holidays? Kevin and I make a delicious spinach and artichoke dip that is quite easy to whip together and to share with friends and family.
Good morning, Belle.
Important. It's probably the most important part of the meal.
It is Kim and Kevin here
Most part of the
in the
meal.
kitchen.
This is-
Kevin and I just have a blast when we're here together.
We just sit here and rant and ramble about things. We were just talking about like each meal, like what's the most important part of the meal? It's the beginning part. It's the appetizer. It sets the stage.
You are ravenous. Your mouth is salivating, thinking about what you're about to consume.
You're ready to go.
And so we are going to show you how to make a classic dip that's great to use with friends and family.
Yeah, that's the spinach and artichoke dip, and it's good for you. It's not just good.
Well, it is decadent for
It's
you.
decadent. Yeah, we gotta kind of.
And if you count the
brakes.
spinach, you've got a little bit of that iron and what is it, vitamin A and
Yeah.
vitamin C in there.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's great. I love making it from scratch because arguably I think it's better when you make it from scratch than what you would get at a restaurant.
Well, and you were talking about, I opened up this garlic container and it's like, oh my gosh, the aroma of garlic is mesmerizing. So I love anything with garlic in it.
Anything with garlic is absolutely delicious. So we're gonna go ahead and get started in this recipe. It's simple ingredients. You have your regular grated and shredded cheeses. So we've got mozzarella and Parmesan, which we have right here. You've got obviously the main ingredients and the feature, the spinach and the artichokes.
Love that.
And then what every good dip is a base of mayo and cheese. So
Yeah, so you've got to have your sour cream and
Yep.
you've got to have your Philadelphia cream cheese.
that is not a plug for Philadelphia
And a
cream cheese.
little mayo. It's not a plug for Philadelphia cream cheese. One neat thing about the Philadelphia cream cheese is if you look inside the container, a lot of times you'll get some nice recipes. So kind of like a Snapple cap, where you get a little motivation. This you get a nice recipe.
Well, I have to say I haven't thought about a Snapple cap in a very long time.
Well, you're welcome.
Kevin, you may have just dated us a little bit. But we are going to go ahead and get started and get things rocking and rolling because it is just one of my favorite things to snack on. You can always overindulge in this because it's just so delicious.
All right, let's get started.
We are going to go ahead and do it. So we've had our cream cheese sitting out. It's at room temperature. So we have 8 ounces of cream cheese, which
Okay.
is literally 1 block of cream cheese.
One block.
So we'll just go ahead and throw that in our large mixing bowl. And the great thing about this recipe is it is a 1 bowl recipe. So
One bowl.
everything just gets tossed
You're
in
not
there.
doing dishes all day.
We are not doing dishes all day. And
Okay.
even better, if you're taking it to a party, just get a disposable pie tin, which is what we're going to show you how to put it into right here. Awesome. So we've got our bases. So our soft cheeses go first. We've got the cream cheese that's been sitting out at room temperature.
Okay.
We're going to do 1/3 of a cup of mayo.
Mayo.
which we have it sitting right here. I'm not a big mayo girl, but I do like a mayo that's got an olive oil base versus just your traditional Miracle Whip or
Why?
whatever it is.
Why do you like that?
I like things that are made with olive oil versus vegetable oil, and it makes me feel a little bit healthier, but I don't know. We're making a spinach
We'll just
dip,
stop
so
there.
I don't know how
We'll just
healthy we're
stop
going to
there.
be today.
Okay.
So once you've done the 1/3 of a cup of the mayo, which Kevin, excellent job there.
Got it.
Then we're adding 1 cup of sour cream.
Okay.
So you can do a mix of Greek yogurt and sour cream if you wanted to.
Okay.
But it's just a really, it's a great addition. And if you wanted to, I think even if you wanted to, you could almost add some cottage cheese and make it a little bit more protein forward.
I like that.
So I use cottage cheese as a substitute for a lot of recipes. But
this
today
is-
we are just doing the classic.
The sour cream.
So
Awesome.
we've got everything just mixed in here, and we're just going to go ahead and mix it all in, and then we're going to throw in the garlic.
Okay.
So the garlic we chopped up. It says pressed, but that's just basically a fancy word for chopping it up. We have 3 cloves of garlic here, and it just smells so fresh. That's the difference between just using the stuff from the store that's already been diced. Yes, it's easier, and you can do that, but I say add a little bit more love and elbow grease.
Put a little love into it.
Awesome. So we're doing it. We've got this all mixed up, and Kevin, if you want to go ahead and mix this in, I'll get
Yes.
started on the other part.
Okay.
So this is what we're doing. We've got 2 kinds of cheese. You've got Parmesan and mozzarella.
Okay.
This recipe calls for 2 cups of mozzarella, but you're only putting half of it into the dip first. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Let me make sure that we've got this measured out appropriately. If you get a little extra cheese, it doesn't have to be perfect because let's be real, cheese is cheese and it's delicious
who
no
doesn't
matter
always
which
want
way
more
you do it.
cheese?
All right. So we've got about 1 cup of cheese now of the mozzarella. Perfect. And then we've got about a half a cup of grated Parmesan or shredded Parmesan. Basically, it's just going to melt in there, so you want to make sure that it's finely diced, but whatever you've got on hand, really. Most people probably have most of these ingredients in your pantry at all times. Or fridge, I guess. We shouldn't be keeping your cheese in the pantry.
Not in the pantry, no.
All right, so we've got our Parmesan.
Be a whole different show if we do that.
It's very true, very true. All right, Parmesan is mixed in there. Now, here's the fun part.
What is fun? Tell me. Talk to me.
We're putting the star ingredients into the mix.
I'm thinking spinach and I'm thinking artichoke.
You're thinking appropriately here.
See?
So
we're on the same page.
we have artichoke hearts. This recipe, you can do 10 to 12. Most jars of marinated artichoke hearts are about 12 ounces. So I went ahead and I drained it already because you do not want the artichoke juice in it. But it's marinated, so it's got a little bit of extra flavor and seasonings in it. And then once I drained that, I actually took them out and I chopped them up a little bit further so that it's a little bit easier to digest when you're scooping it with a pita. And what I did, the top layer of it sometimes is a little bit harder and hard to chew. If you've ever done like a traditional artichoke, you use that piece to scrape off your teeth. So I removed the outer edges and I cut off the tips and then I diced it up a little bit further. So we're just gonna go ahead and dump this in here. As you can see, it smells good. They're marinated, they look good. It's about 10 ounces that we've got going on in our dip right now.
Okay.
And then the spinach.
Spinach.
And there is a trick to the spinach.
Okay.
You know about the spinach trick.
Yeah, well, I know that you need to drain the spinach because there's always
do.
a lot of water in it and condensation.
Absolutely. And you buy the frozen spinach and frozen chopped spinach. So you don't have to chop it, you just need to thaw
already
it
done.
out. Exactly,
Keeping it
already
simple.
done. So you can like pop it in the microwave if you need to, but what I typically do is I would pull it out the night before, let it thaw out, and then once it's thawed out, we've already wrung out all of the excess water. It's already chopped up. So this, believe it or not, is 10 ounces of spinach. So
Are you serious right now?
I am so serious right now. So we just dump it in there too.
Okay.
And you just kind of mix it around. It takes a minute as you're mixing it. This is really all that you need to do, but I don't know if you're like me, Kevin, but I always add a little bit of extra garlic powder, a little bit of salt and pepper.
Oh, yeah.
Always. Those are
Always.
the classics in any recipe, in my opinion. So we're just going to freehand that. Got a little bit of garlic powder here, and I'm just going to freehand it while you're continuing to mix it in. Looks good to me.
Look at that.
Looks perfect. And then your classic pepper.
A little salt and pepper.
salt.
Yeah.
So we'll do a little pepper, not a lot, because we don't really need to have a spice in this. And then we've got a little bit of salt because salt
Why
makes
not?
everything a little bit
Why not?
more decadent is
That's
what I
right.
like to call it. So that's really all that you do. You just mix it all up, single bowl, And then we have a baking dish. Usually if you had a square pan, you do a 9x9 for this particular recipe, or it'll just all fit into your pie tin.
Right.
Well, while he's mixing that up, we've got a disposable pie tin right here. Pretty great.
Pretty great.
And then you just want to coat the bottom of it just a little bit. So I love the organic olive oil spray. This is in my kitchen at all times. In fact, I stock up on it, and I've got like 3 extra cans because I never want to run out.
Just keeping it simple, Kim.
Keeping it so simple. And Kevin, looks great.
Okay.
I'll do the spooning. You hold the
spoon.
bowl. And we're just literally going to put this in here, just like that. And it will be thick because once we pop it into the oven, it'll basically kind of, just melt a little bit more. Everything will be nice and cheesy. So you just want to make sure that it's evenly spread just like that.
Perfect.
And then, remember how I mentioned we only used half the mozzarella?
I did. I remember that.
Well, the other half, if you were measuring it out, it would be about a cup. But we're just going to sit here and have some fun and just kind of dump this all over the top, because one of my favorite things when diving into a freshly baked dip is just breaking that cheesy, ooey gooey, delicious barrier.
Oh yeah, get a little brown on top.
Oh, exactly.
Perfect.
So what we didn't tell you is that you should preheat your oven to 400 degrees.
400 degrees.
This takes about 20 minutes to fully meld all of the flavors and to bubble up. And so because TV magic, we actually have one ready to go in the oven right now. So Kevin is going to show us. He's going to pull that out. Looking great. Oh my goodness, it is just absolutely golden on top. But you pull it out basically once that cheese that we just put on the mozzarella, once it starts to bubble up and look brown and gorgeous, just like this.
Look at that.
Smells good. I wish you could smell it. The garlic, the cheese, the deliciousness. To me, this smells like vacation and holidays and entertaining your friends
It
and
is,
family.
exactly.
Well, Kevin, I think we need to break into those pita chips. So you can
think so, too.
serve this with whatever you want. You can serve it with, crackers. You can do some little crostinis. But we're just going to go with the pita chips, lightly salted because we don't want to take away from the flavor. And it's just going to be absolutely delicious. I'm going to use a fork to break into this one because we don't want to break those pita chips. But Kevin, let's try it out.
Okay.
And see what it tastes like. We're just breaking it right into it. As you can see that ooey gooey deliciousness.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, that's so hot. What do you think? Nailed it? We nailed it.
That is so good.
Well, we're going to go enjoy our spinach dip while we take this next break. And if you want the recipe, let us know. We'll share it with you.
Good morning, Bell.
Now, Gretchen had a conversation with Girls Love Travel about holiday traveling, but these tips and tricks that are shared are important not just during the holidays, but anytime you plan to travel. Let's take a look.
Welcome back to the show. I am so very excited. Haley Woods, Girls Love Travel, I should say. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Good morning. So
Haley,
excited to be here.
Look at you. You are all about this season. You look great. I love it. You are very, inspired by the holiday season, I can tell.
I'm a big fan. Absolutely. And holiday travel is something that we love to talk about over at Girls Love Travel.
Okay, so Haley, before we dive in all things holiday travel, and I'm going to be right there with everyone doing it. How funny. I just realized that I found you through Girls Love Travel a long time ago. I was looking back at our messages. It was years and years ago when I was traveling somewhere by myself, and you really made me feel safe, pretty much, that I was going alone. So thank you.
You're welcome. It's our pleasure. Over at Girls Love Travel, we've been around for about 8 years at this point. We have over 1.4 million women all around the world, and we're there as a network of support to talk about all things travel, to encourage travel, and just to be there for each other whenever we're going and exploring the world.
Well, and I love that your whole motto is just to encourage women to go explore the world and to do it fearlessly, and to maybe do it with another woman, to do it in a group of women, as well as you can go alone as long as, people feel like they're safe. So thank you for all that you do, Haley.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
All right, Haley, we're diving in. I'll be traveling over Christmas time, and you are giving me some tips and tricks for traveling. Can you tell us what those are?
Sure. So I have a couple things for you today. So holiday travel can be stressful.
Yes.
It's a lot of stuff going on, a lot of people that are out there, and oftentimes there's delays due to weather that we can't control. So, a couple of things that you need to think about to make yourself a little bit more at ease. One of the first ones that I want to say is, we are still with the holiday season, still able to buy a couple of gifts if you need to. So, air tags is something that I encourage everybody to have. I have
Awesome.
multiple ones, have a case for them, really fun, different colors. You can put them in your backpack, you can put them in your suitcase. Many times, if you have a coach class seat, then you might get forced to put your bag in a checked area, and
Right.
having an air tag has a little peace of mind. So make sure that you have something like that.
Haley, I think that's absolutely brilliant. That's such a good idea. And that's something that I am already taking off of your to-do list. I'm going to definitely be doing that.
Well, and then the next thing I want to say too is that you never know when you're going to be able to charge your phone. I mean, our
Right.
phones are our lifeblood when just every day, not just during the travel and the holiday season. So I encourage everyone to have at least one battery pack. Now, I
Smart.
have four different kinds here, everything from ones that you need a cord to ones that have all the cords with them. This one even has all the cords and has it to be able to plug
Wow.
into the wall. But one of
Cool.
my favorites is really small that you can go and you can just put it into the bottom of the phone. Having something like this means that you're going to have extra juice on the battery and you're not going to have to look for a plug-in place anywhere at the airport or whenever you're sitting in the seat back if you're delayed on the tarmac.
Haley, I love that. That is something I actually overlooked and did not think about. That's brilliant. That's a very good idea.
So, next thing that I want to talk about is the dreaded TSA. Now we love TSA for the fact that they're keeping us nice and safe, being
Right.
able to travel. But one thing I want to remind everybody is that your beautifully wrapped gifts do not do this when you're traveling.
Right.
You might arrive and this beautifully wrapped gift might end up open. So the big thing that I want to suggest for everybody is invest in reusable gift bags.
Smart.
Reusable gift bags
Smart.
are going to be a great way for you to lie flat in the bottom of your suitcase, take a little bit of tissue paper, reusable gift bags, or if you want, you can even get something cute like a little Santa bag
Oh, I love
and
it.
be able to put all your gifts in a Santa bag. And then you're traveling and you can put all your stuff in there without having to worry about TSA opening up and ruining your holiday season.
That is so smart because how sad would that be? You spend all the time to wrap these beautiful gifts and these presents like you just showed, and then wah wah, you get there and not
Yeah.
so much.
And if you need to, take the wrapping paper with you. But the biggest thing we've already heard it a little bit this season, unfortunately, of people that have had wrapped gifts either in their carry-on or in their check bag. Some people think, well, it's in my carry-on, I should be okay.
Right.
You don't want to do that as well. And a big reminder to lots of bags, try and keep the breakables in your carry-on if you can, so that you're going to arrive safe with those gifts intact.
That is so smart. And Haley, I had a question for you. Do you always, because you travel a lot, I follow you, I know exactly, you do a lot of traveling, girl. I am very envious. Do you take a carry-on and have the things that you really need? Maybe for some people, medication, I don't know, those very personal items. Do you keep them with you at all time?
I try and do that as much as I can.
Okay.
This a trip that I went on just about a week ago with my mother to Asheville, North Carolina, we volunteered to get bumped. Now, by
Okay.
volunteering to get bumped meant that each of us got a $300 gift card, got a
Right.
hotel overnight, got $60 in food vouchers, but we didn't have access to our checked bag. Thankfully, in our carry-on, we had everything that we needed for an overnight stay, and we were able to enjoy the fact that we were bumped and
Right.
not get stressed about it. So having things like your medication, an extra change of clothes, of course, your toiletries that are
Right.
necessary, things like that are wonderful to have.
I love Haley. You should write a book about this. You are like the most well-traveled human I've ever met.
Well, and I have one more big tip for you for the holiday
Yes.
season. I know that I'm traveling with my girlfriend to Atlanta, Georgia, and we've got all
Yes.
sorts of gifts to be able to
Right.
go. And people are wondering, like, how do I travel with so much? And then what do I do afterwards, especially with checked bags? So what we do is we use compactable duffel bags. So
Oh.
this bag is going to lie flat whenever packed down like this, but when it's opened up, it's like almost I could fit inside it.
Wow. Oh
And
my
it
God.
weighs like less than a pound. I'm able to put all my stuff in it. You can put those big wintry items like your
Yeah.
winter coats and things if you need to in it. You're going to be able to check this as a regular checked bag. And then once you get to your destination and you get rid of all the things, you give away all your gifts,
Yeah.
all you have to do is come back with something that can lay flat at the bottom of your suitcase.
Oh my gosh. How did you learn about this? Haley, you are the guru of
Thank
traveling.
you.
That's brilliant. And where can people find some of these items? Because I am super excited about that and the charger, etc. Can we just Google? How would we find these?
You can, and if you come over to girlslovetravel.com, we actually have a shopping list for our Amazon storefront. So
Wow.
you can go and see all these kind of things over on our shopping list and suggested items for that traveler that might be difficult to buy for as well.
Girls love travel. Haley, I am so happy that I met you through this amazing, amazing organization. I am so thrilled that it's become such a big thing, and you are just lovely. And Haley, I think we need to all go travel together. We're going to have a moment. Let's do it in this new year, 2024.
I can't wait. Everybody, please be safe out there. And you know what? Make sure to be kind to everybody
Yes.
when you're traveling. Take a deep breath. Know that everybody's going to get to their destination. It might take you a
Yes.
little bit longer than you hoped, but you're going to get there and you're going to have a great time doing it.
Haley, I adore you. Thank you so much for being on the show. We can't wait to have you back, and happy holidays to you. Oh, and I loved your new car. Congratulations, girl.
Thank you so much. Have a wonderful holiday season.
You too, Haley. Haley Woods, Girls Love Travel. Definitely check it out. It is just brilliant. And keep it right here. We have more of the show to come.
This weather report is brought to you by Sun and Ski Sports, your new mountain sports headquarters.
What a joy and honor it was to spend this Monday morning with you on this beautiful Christmas day. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. I'm your host, Kimberly Perot, and I can't wait to see you next time.